You know, you guys, America is like hiring. There's like a giant help wanted sign in front of America's door front come 2020, I'll tell you that much. You know, I've been looking at statistics on like all of these jobs that are up for grabs. That apparently you don't have to have a lick of skills or sense to do. There's like, I thought at first there was only like 91,000 electable jobs up for grabs, but that's not true. There's over like 2.1 million jobs, both state, federal, but then there's staffs that are going to be going with those positions as well. And if you haven't noticed, you know, in my comments, in my section, you know, our government, you know, was framed so simply, you know. Basically, it was, you know, there has to be rollover in government in between terms of presidencies in order to prevent deep-stated corruption. You know, you can't... we can't go forward with all of these corrupt politicians and call it good. It's gotten to the point where it's now generational. There needs to be a complete rollover come this election. We need to step up with our president, and we need to run for these offices. And I'll tell you nothing, guys, it wouldn't be such a bad idea if local people or your district representative, well, see, they're all crooked, so, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't want my channel to focus on what's wrong with government, because, like, we haven't a clue or even a tip of the iceberg about what's going on in government. But there needs to be a rollover. And I'll tell you another thing, people, you know, I've noticed a trend, and I've presented this to President Trump, and I've told him, you know, mainstream media people are slithering out of the spotlight, and they are starting to ingratiate themselves among their little, like, small towns, and they want to make changes in government. And I can't tell you how lethal this will be for America if we get duped like this. I mean, this is like every time I see another one come up for grabs, you know, and like, I think I'm going to make a change in office, and my name's blah, 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 and I'll tell you what, you know, that's what's happening. And so we need to call this out, and all that. As far as YouTube goes, I don't think YouTube's going anywhere. Trump is a businessman. Our POTUS, he is smart. He is brilliant. He just got our oil. He rebuilt our military in less than 3 years from scratch. No bullets. And I'll tell you another thing. Not only did he rebuild it from scratch with no bullets, we were left to a negative. And not only were we left to a negative, and I don't know how he pulled the funds together, but he did, we were left to a disadvantage where we had traitors in our midst. Americans have been paying for 2 militaries, okay? The good guys and the bad guys within our military and our government. So technically we've been having to pay for 2. And so there's been this civil war going on in Washington, and there's this civil war going on. And so, you know, with our military trying to take care of things here on the homeland. And for the first time, American soldiers have been called to America to protect and defend its citizens, and we shouldn't be afraid of our good troops. You know, you know who the good guys are. You know, have a lick of sense. You know, if you see something happening or coming at you, you'll know who the good guys are. You know, but you got to be self-preserving. These are the days, you know, that, you know, we all know the rest, tribes and souls. So with that being said, my channel, I wanted to focus on people wanting to run for office, and let's take a tighter look at like what's going on with these little local things. I'll tell you another thing, people. Our POTUS almost lost, well, that's kind of how like he lost like the House, because all the, you know, it's kind, these small town offices and districts and stuff are where he stands a chance to lose in the election, because there's a greater number of them, and if mainstream media gets involved, we're just like, you know, we've screwed the pooch. So we need to get on this, you know, and that's all I can say. I'm proud to be an American, and I'm proud to try and make America great again in my own way, and so that's all I can say. Not a lot right this second. This is kind of like my first video take. I've done a few. Anyways, have a good one.